I've already said a few times why I began watching Supergirl, and that was the arrival of Katie McGrath. In truth, in the UK, the Arrowverse shows have little to no promotion, and Supergirl just never entered my radar. In fact, I had no idea that it existed. Very quickly, I fell in love with the relationship that Kara and Alex possess. And I must admit that for me, it may be a personal thing. I have a few older sisters and we've never really gotten along. I cut them out of my life a while ago, and I've always craved to have something akin to what Alex and Kara have. I find it intriguing that two people not related by blood, or even hail from the same planet, can come together and have a bond so strong and unbreakable that for me, if I must think of what the true love story of Supergirl is, it is the love story between Kara and Alex. Now, I'm not saying they're in love and they're going to do it and make out and get married and have little kitties. No. Nope. Love is a wide spectrum of colors, and romantic love isn't just the only form of affection that exists. But with Supergirl about to launch into part 2 of season 5, and with no love interest of any worthy note for Kara our lead, it's hard to imagine that on a network so full of teen dramas, there isn't one. Yes, we've had the brief flirtation with Adam in season 1, James in season 2, which, in my view, was a little weird. Lucy said James and Kara were interested in each other, so boom, they were. Not sure where she got that from. James just couldn't tell her Kara was Supergirl. That's not being in love with someone. If it is, I didn't get the memo for that, so forgive me. They broke up early in season 2, only for Kara to randomly get attached to Mon-El. Now, if you saw my last video about Supergirl, you know how I feel about Mono, and I will go into this more when I do a video about Kara, but for now, just know he was gross and disgusting. Since then, Kara has been single, too busy, saving the world. Supergirl stuff. I think the relationship between Kara and Alex proves that the meaning of the word family is not as we know it. Our family can often be who we choose. We don't have to be linked by blood. This is something that very members of the LGBTQ community have discovered when coming out and having had their families reject them. They find a family in others. Their family is essentially not connected by blood, but by something stronger. Choice. Blood isn't always thicker than water, and often families are given a pass to be toxic to us simply because that's their birthright. I don't subscribe to this school of thought. In season 2, we saw the sisters become separated, isolated them to their separate romance, Kara with Mon-El and Alex to Maggie. This, I have discovered, is how the Supergirl writers tend to write romances. Then they use other characters to clarify this for us. For example, whether they love each other, or whether they work, whether they have chemistry. It is a huge example of what I keep saying. The writers show us a dysfunctional, disrespectful union with zero chemistry, yet they tell us the opposite. In short, it's the laziest way to confirm a relationship is okay and we need to get behind it. But it never works. As the history of the show tells us, no relationship has held the test of time. Even in season 4, when Alex is beginning to get to know Kelly, despite how much I love her character and dancing is cute as hell, to achieve this we saw Alex rely on Kelly, and not Kara, in some pretty important emotional ways. This is against the grain of her character, but they create an environment where the characters are divided, so that one character is left in an unfamiliar place with only the love interest to lean on. It is as though the writers and creators genuinely think this is how relationships work. In reality, it makes no sense at all, and it shows us they can't seem to juggle too many things at one time without everything falling apart. In season 2, they had Maggie Sawyer downright go out of her way to be hostile to Kara. I always sensed the jealousy because of how close Alex was to Kara. As a result, you can imagine I was not a Maggie fan. not just for that reason. In season 3, Alex and Kara's scenes become rarer. Kara now went to get advice from that well-known great thinker and theologian Mont Smell, the crown prince of Jackassville. Couch scenes were now replaced by balcony scenes at the DEO. In season 4, we had it so that Alex had her mind erased, so she wouldn't remember that Kara was Supergirl. Again, we need to ignore that glasses are not a disguise. That will never not be funny. Thus, this enabled Alex having to rely on Kelly Olsen, and not Kara during the adoption storyline. And this was a stupid storyline, if I'm honest. Alex isn't in a position to adopt any child, but me saying this doesn't mean I do not like the character of Kelly. I don't like Alex and Kelly together. This is not true. I love the character of Kelly Olsen. While they did do this, and I didn't like the way they wrote them to begin with, I think maybe they're trying a little bit harder in season 5 to write them better as a couple, and I'm really enjoying Alex and Kelly's scenes in this season 5. I hope they continue in this way, and more scenes. Don't cut them like they did with Danvers. It was just a plot device. Like most things in Supergirl, that means nothing and is just a way to make something happen. They do this a lot. The level of amnesia in that writing room is quite frankly alarming. They should check the water out or something, because it's crazy the amount of times they have told us something, then in the next season that didn't happen so they can make something else happen. It is exhausting. With the disaster of love interest in the show, how can I not deduce that Supergirl will never be a show remembered for a healthy relationship for our heroine? I feel for sure the supercore thread is them queer baiting, and I'm anticipating the biggest queer bait since Snow Queen to occur. How can I not think that Supergirl isn't about romantic love? As the modern TV eye shows us, how can I think it is anything but a story of two women, not meant to be bound together by blood or even origin of birth, yet they share a bond so great and so deep that they would die for each other. They would sacrifice themselves for each other. While battle lines have been drawn between various ships on who should win Kara's heart, some claiming Kara would give it all up and flee with Mono because he is her true love. I'm rolling my eyes right now. Okay. Those people do not understand that for Kara, who was a small child, watched her homeland die, lost her family and everyone she loved, and was sent out into the lonely darkness of space, all alone with the responsibility to watch over her baby cousin, when she was not much more than a baby herself, only to find herself in a strange world, the baby herself. Only now Alex is given the mammoth task of watching over her. These two women are codependent, but not in the negative sense. They build each other up. They worry about each other. They support each other. They love each other. They really did come a long way from Alex's immature resistance to having Kara around when they were children. The responsibility that weighed so heavily on her, that grew from something she was told she had to do to something she felt her duty to do because she loved her sister. But make no mistake that Kara feels that too for Alex. In many senses, Kara feels that more. Kara lost everyone she had at such a young age. Kara knows more than anyone how fragile life is and how easily it can be ripped away from us with just the blink of an eye. We have seen Kara practically beg Alex to take more care in how she acts because she's not superhuman. Kara would never leave Alex, just as Alex would never leave Kara. To think otherwise means you haven't been paying attention, to be frank. So, no, Kara was never going to leave Earth with Mono, a dude she dated for a few weeks and who treated her like crap. Seriously, come on. I mean, even ignoring the fact that Supergirl is the lead, if she leads, then there will not be a next season. You want Superman to come in her place or something? We get enough Superman storylines already, thanks. I really don't know whose story they're going to tell in the new Superman show. Will it be Supergirl's story? Now, if I look at season 5 so far, I feel the writers seem to have fixed this with Danson. We have not seen their sisterly relationship neglected for romance. And we have seen the characters of Kelly and Kara become friends. This is more realistic and healthy. I hope that they continue this because, yes, I agree that a character can have a relationship with a love interest while having one with their friends and family too. I hope that this continues because it is far more enjoyable to watch. And to be frank, between the characters, Kelly and Alex, you don't need to tell us they have chemistry. I can see it loud and clear. What will happen for Kara? I do not know. You see, I think the writers and producers have a great big problem that they created for themselves. It involves the simple thing that they gave us angsty supercore content and it keeps getting deeper and deeper. And the answer is simple from my perception. The reason that every romance or possible romance fails when put with Kara or Lena is because that ship pales into comparison with Supercore. Think about it. They have worked so hard to build a slow burn between these two characters, and then to try and put you off, they match them with a mediocre substitute that they throw together and use lazy ways to tell us they love each other and they're dating. They've had a crush on each other for a long time. It didn't just happen. It wasn't spontaneous. It wasn't just thrown together at the last minute. It will never work because the creators are lazy. Go with Supergirl because the foundation has been built since season 2, and now in season 5 it keeps growing. Let me now address an issue I see so much, and it involves the Danvers sisters. Kara can't be gay because her sister is. You can't have two gays in one family. Okay. I know I'm not the only person in the world who is gay, but also has a sibling who is LGBTQ. There are many in my family, in fact. Peeps, I need you to know that it doesn't work the way you think. It isn't that every few families has one token gay member who everyone is scared of and pussyfoots around because they are disgusted or terrified of them turning them. Think rationally and without hate in your brains. Sexuality is not something that gets assigned like this. In truth, I don't know how it works, but it isn't the way you think it works. How the hell was I born gay? I don't ever know, to be frank. I don't care. It's not a big deal. It's just a small part of who I am. This is the same thing for a lot of people. And they also have gay, bi, trans, pan, etc. family members. Now we need to discuss that Kryptonians are not straight. They are pansexual. This is canon, and in the comics, Supergirl has had many trysts with women. So, I'm not sure where you, Kara is straight, are going with this one. To sum up, two sisters can very much be gay, especially when they are not related by blood, and one comes from a planet where straightness is not a thing that exists. Thanks for your time. So, it may be a very possible outcome that whatever Supergirl ends, the two things we will be left with is the bad sour taste of being queer-baited and the soothing, comforting glow that the Danvers sisters gave us. Well, gave me. Like I said, I don't have a relationship with my sisters. To see a positive, loving, sisterly relationship exist gives me hope. Hope that while I don't possess one, I never did, it actually exists. And I can live vicariously through the Danvers sisters. The heart of Supergirl isn't Kara, it isn't Alex. Hey, it isn't Lena, and it's not some long-gone preppy prince. The heart of the show is, and always will be, the Danvers sisters. They are the warmth that keep me watching. The moment you take away the Danvers sisters, that is the day that Supergirl dies.